Hi, I'm Stephanie Buffman from the Gladwin County Record in Beaverton, Clarion, and I am here with Beaverton City Manager Kerry Posey and Sergeant Jason Campbell from the Beaverton City Police Department, and we're talking about issues surrounding the public safety millage and how it impacts the City of Beaverton. The first thing I wanted to ask is what's the current budget for the department?
Well, as of 2013, our current budget is about $70,000.
And what does the department look like?
Well, with that budget, that allows us to have 5 part-time police officers. We have a patrol car on during the day for about 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, so 56 hours total.
Okay. One of the things that is noted on the public safety millage pamphlet is that response times may be slower if this millage doesn't pass. What does that mean?
Well, to give you an example, if we have a patrol car on, we can respond to any emergency here in the city within minutes. If we don't have a patrol car on, obviously someone has to come from Gladwin County or worst case scenario Gladwin City, and that's at least 8 miles away. And during an emergency, it may not seem like a long time, but 8 minutes can be a long time. If there's an emergency at the school or your residence, that's a long time. So like I said, if we have a car on, we can make it to any emergency within a couple of minutes. But you never know where there's going to be a county car on. They could be up north, and that certainly delays it an extra 15-20 minutes. So during an emergency, that could be in a long time.
Why the combined public safety millage, the countywide safety millage, versus going out for a millage on your own?
Well, this idea of a countywide millage was talked about in great detail, and it was our feeling that this problem that exists with all our cities and agencies of lower revenues, less money to work with, is a problem for all of us together. And so we're attacking this problem together as a group rather than an individual city or county. As we've seen across the state, many cities are in financial difficulty. Most recently, the city of Pontiac has lost their police department. There are other cities that are looking to cut their police department. So it's an issue that not only countywide but statewide, Stephanie.
Now, if this millage passes, Beaverton City Police Department will receive $40,000 the first year, and I believe every year thereafter for 5 years. What would that do for this department?
Well, if we got that $40,000 added to our current budget, do a couple of things for us. The first thing I talked about is increase our patrol coverage. Earlier I mentioned that we have a patrol car on for 8 hours during the day. That number would actually double. We would have 16 hours of patrol coverage, 7 days a week. So that'll help a lot. I think the most important thing that'll help us do is maintain our current goals. As a police department, we think that's very important to keep the schools safe, keep drugs out of our community, solve crime, and we've taken a lot of pride in really being a community-oriented police department. So if this millage passes, it'll definitely help us achieve those goals.
And what if it doesn't pass?
Well, it's my intentions to keep funding the police department at the current levels. So the additional millage money would be an enhancement to what we already have. But we have uncertain times ahead. We don't know if there'll be further revenue cuts from the state. Because of the uncertain times, we just don't know what the future is going to hold. But we'll try to maintain what we have if we can and if we can afford it.
Just to bring up something, over the past 5 years, we've actually experienced a 30% reduction in our budget, which has kind of cost us about 20% in road patrol coverage. So in 2009, our budget for the police department was $117,000, and like I mentioned earlier, here in 2013, our budget is $70,000. So it's definitely taken a hit over the past 5 years.
What typical types of complaints do you respond to here in Beaverton?
We're just like any other city. We have our fair share of larcenies, property crimes. We have a lot of drugs in this community, domestic calls. Last year we handled about 600 complaints. We did reports on about 117 of those. That, like I said, had entails drugs, domestics, larcenies, civil complaints. I guess we're just like every other city. So.
Well, I really want to thank you guys for sitting down with me today and discussing the public safety millage. It really helps the people when they go to the polls to make their decision.
Oh, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Stephanie.